Hello, welcome back to another episode of What is Fastest. Today we're doing old versus new versus none in helmets. Got 4 helmets and a swimming hat in question. Why the swimming hat? I'll start with the swimming hat because back in the era of the old helmets, I'm going to show you, no helmets were used as well, and I thought it might just be interesting to see the difference. Because back then, wind tunnel testing was reserved for only the elite, which I will get into after the testing has been done. Let's start with the helmets. I've picked 4 helmets and the swimming hat, so 5 tests. A helmet that tested very fast on me. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to you that I'm going to guess the results because it's all happened. I'm filming this post wind tunnel day. I know all the results, and just now's the point where we create the videos. So this did very well on the day. I'm not going to tell you if it was the fastest, but it did do extremely well with the sock. The quickest way to rob a bank. Speaking of robbing banks, I would imagine back in the day the Rabobank team would have used this guy. It's a Giro. This has been kindly donated by the one and only Michael Hutchinson. Here's a photo of him actually using it. Here's a photo of some other guys using this helmet as well. Things to note, it weighs nothing. Nothing at all. There's nothing to this whatsoever. It's like just, I don't know how to describe how flimsy this is. Next helmet, Casco Mistral, solid all-round helmet. That's why I picked this as well. A lot of people use this. It's been used to great success on a lot of people as well. Gone for the size large because that on a lot of people is the fastest. My favourite use of this helmet is by Adam Yates. If I can dig out a picture of him, I will to put here. He looks great in one of these. I mean, that could be why he moved to UAE really. We will be testing the Met drone in a later video. One of these without the fancy visor, which is also another video that's coming. The last helmet is what teenage Alex lusted after. Also kindly donated by Michael Hutchinson. Here's a video of him using a green version of it. So clearly he had multiple colours. Little more structural integrity than the Giro. It's made of carbon rather than plastic. And honestly a bit more consideration to the shape. Considering there would have been very little use of wind tunnels back then. If I was to, I'll get onto that afterwards, but there has been thought about the shape. We've got the flare just behind the ears. The point on the nose is not unintentional. That's what is meant to be there. But Michael said he thought this would be very slow because of the indent in the tail causes unnecessary detachment of airflow. So there we have it. Let's go see the test.
Big games.
Right, what exactly happened? What did we learn? Well, it's really close. It's really close. Between the helmets, wearing no helmet, not good. Let's start with that. Wearing no helmet was 1.7% slower than the fastest helmet. What does 1.7% mean? Because it doesn't sound like much, but if we're going to put it in a real world situation, 2022 National Time Trial Championships of Great Britain, it's 26 mile, 43.2 kilometres. Took me 53 minutes, 22 seconds. Fairly flat course, pretty untechnical, and most importantly on closed roads, so there's no interaction with traffic. 1.7% would have been a loss of 20 seconds in time. To overcome that, I'd have needed 7 watts extra or lost 6 kilograms of mass, and that's presuming the mass doesn't affect the aerodynamics, because if you lose weight, generally you become smaller, more aerodynamic normally. So that gets the swimming hat out of the way. And I wanted to do that because, as you can see, the picture of Stuart Dangerfield, no helmet racing used to be the thing. Let's get on to the main helmets. Very close. Less than 1% in it. And honestly, like less than 0.5% in most of the test. So TT5 came out fastest, and for those of you who want to know CDA numbers, 0.209 was me with that on. Behind that, the next fastest, which was a surprise to me because of what Michael said, was the MDT. I don't know, the MDT, we're just calling it the MDT, Bumblebee. 0.4% slower. Then the Giro, which is 0.6% slower. And finally the Cask, which is just 0.8% slower. So again, these are very tiny margins. What does that mean in the real world? Well, if we go back to our national championships of Great Britain in 2022, where I had a mediocre ride, Ethan Hayter won it. I actually don't know where I finished. I didn't hang around to look because I knew it was that bad a day. A less than 1% difference is less than 10 seconds difference in a 53-minute time trial, which requires less than 4 watts and less than 3 kilograms of mass either way. So, on one hand, I'm saying it's not much. On the other hand, we know that it's all of these little things that add together to give you the result. What are our takeaways? Well, I think hats off to the honest guesswork that went on back in the day to create things like this. Because wind tunnel time was reserved for the elite. I'd imagine Michael had very limited wind tunnel time. Boardman would have had it. I know, Arntz, there was pictures of him in a wind tunnel, but it was so novel and new. It was reserved only for the elite. And I think also test, I don't know if they'd have tested at York back then, and the tests would have been so slow as well. Even I know from 2015 to now, tests have got much faster. A run in a skin suit used to take me 12 minutes in 2014, 2015. Now it's 3 minutes. Honestly, back then, I don't know what testing would have liked. So helmets off to them for creating things. Now, also hats off to modern day helmets, because it's all about directing airflow. It's a much bigger, it's a much bigger helmet now than it was back then. And obviously some helmets have got very large. Some helmets are all about directing airflow into different places, like the POC Tempor or the Sweet Spot Redeemer. I don't know how this works, I'm still trying to find out. I wouldn't mind betting that there is a period of time between this helmet and this helmet where helmets got incredibly bad. And it's funny I say that because I tested that. I did test that, and there's going to be a video for another time. So thanks for watching. Don't wear one of these. Wear a new one, which will also protect your head if you crash. And probably should have talked about that a bit more as well. But that is the innovation side of things, side of me coming out. So thanks for watching. See you for the next one.